It's Julie Gillen. I'm a nurse at UCSF, and my sense of well-being comes from not having meat on my plate. And with Bill Clinton adopting the plant-based diet, I'm kind of curious how many people in your field are really taking that as a goal to move forward for many, many reasons.
I think people are generally talking about eating less meat. I listened to an actually very interesting KQED news program last night about meat. 2% of the population are vegetarians, according to the talk on the radio. And the USDA did a study, and they interviewed thousands of vegetarians to identify them. And then they went back 30 days later and they asked them, when was the last time you ate meat? It turned out 40% of them or 50% of them eat meat in the last week, which was very interesting. So they were eating fish or other things. So this guy was actually promoting the use, the whole idea of eating less meat. That was the basis of his study because of health reasons, environmental reasons, economic reasons. So what he was saying is, though, that it's difficult because humans are tied to protein, and it's very difficult for them, even if they identify as a vegetarian, often they'll eat chicken or fish. So I think that there are a lot of people now talking about Meatless Monday. That's one of the big things. Michael Pollan talks about it all the time. If you follow Twitter or Facebook, you see that all the time today. There was a bunch of stuff out about Meatless Mondays. So I try to practice that. I think it's a good thing to do. And I think just eating less meat is a smart act as a human being.
Certainly, there's a lot of information about eating. What we eat in terms of our carbon footprint can be as important as what we drive in terms of reducing our carbon impact. Anyone else on that?
The only thing I'll add is that if you are going to eat meat, that's the one thing I would say we really should make a strong effort to be efficient in what we consume and try and eat all of it. If you're okay with killing something to consume, you should consume it. And so there's that ethical impact there, but also the environmental drivers of just how much grain and water and fuel it takes to produce that meat. So it's not the most efficient food, so if we're going to eat that, we really should eat all of it.
I'd make an observation that one of the new technologies coming along that people read a lot about is about algae. And that algae, certain kinds of algae create an enormous amount of different kinds of fats and the omega-3s and some of the better fats. And when that algae then becomes available to be a food supply, it'll be interesting to see how that starts to play into the challenges that come from people perceiving the grain challenges and ethanol, grain, and all that part that's coming into play as a criticism of the food system that we have now. Making it harder, higher costs for the public.
So algae as a food source for animals or for humans?
Both, certainly both.
So potentially another non-animal protein source.
It's just interesting that that's a technology that's well on its way towards becoming more of a mainstreamer. You don't see a whole lot of it right now, but there's a lot of it going on.